Yo, what's going on everybody? Hope everybody is doing well. As you can see, we got the Vault PROTOFRAME himself, Amir Beckett. Today we're going to be taking this build through some Steel Path Halvania bounties and absolutely cooking them because Vault is an amazing Warframe. So let's go ahead and talk about the build for a little bit. This is going to be a Terrify Vault build. In my opinion, Terrify is an absolute amazing ability to have on Vault because of the fact that you get that armor strip. With the rest of Vault's kit and the weapons I have, Terrify is a really great option because that temporary armor removal does last 30 seconds, as you can see right there, and the fact that we get 100% armor reduction in that meantime means I can literally destroy any enemy in any way I see fit. As you can see, I got 5 archon shards on my boy Amir, 2 for extra ability strength, I got a blue tile forge for extra shield capacity, I got a yellow tile forge for extra effectiveness on energy orbs, and then I got a purple tile forge for extra ability damage when enemies are affected by the electricity status. Now let's go ahead and take a look at the mod setup for my boy Amir. At the end of the day, this might be a questionable mod setup to some, but for me this works out just fine. I had a slightly different setup from this on my last Vault video where I was using Precision Intensify, and don't get it wrong, Precision Intensify is still really good, but with the way I play Vault, I just quite literally don't need it. I use Vault for a lot of farming in Warframe, whenever I'm doing bounties, whenever I'm just trying to get through a mission really fast. 9 times out of 10, I'm gonna use this Vault build right here. Normally for my Vault builds, I would always aim for over 300 energy, or just a really high energy stat in general, but to be honest with you, I don't even think that's necessary with the way I'm able to get energy back consistently, thanks to the Tenet Glaxion. This weapon is absolutely amazing. It allows you to make energy orbs. Thanks to the Photon Overcharge mod this weapon has, we actually have a 20% chance to create some energy orbs whenever we kill an enemy after we apply these 10 cold stacks with the Tenet Glaxion. Getting the 10 stacks with the Tenet Glaxion is very easy considering it's a cold weapon in the first place and we have a 93.1% cold status. But as a matter of fact, while I'm here, I'm also going to change this arcane and I'm going to put on primary frostbite so we can get even more damage with this weapon. For my secondary weapon, I'll be bringing my Kuva Nuke Ore. This weapon is absolutely peak. If you don't have one for yourself, I highly recommend going to get one because it's just an absolute badass weapon. Obviously, the Nuke Ore is a status weapon, and as you can see, I got 191.4% status chance on this weapon, which is absolutely amazing. At the end of the day, you could argue I probably don't need Blast on here, but for when I'm actually doing damage with the weapon itself, it's not bad at all. And secondary encumber on a weapon that has this high of a status chance is just absolutely amazing as well. For my melee weapon, for those of you who've been around the channel, you already know what time it is. This right here is my favorite melee weapon, pretty much my favorite weapon in the entire game. It's an Exodia Contagion Zaw. It's specifically a Nakana type Zaw, and that is thanks to the Sephin Strike. As far as the other parts go, I got a Korb Grip and a Varki 2 Wuhong Link, and this is what the mod setup is looking like. I got a really nice Riven mod for this weapon. Took quite a while to get the stats I wanted, but nonetheless there it is. Because I have a status primer, going with the Condition Overload mod's pretty good as well. The damage you get with this mod is nice at the end of the day, and what makes it even nicer with an Exodia Contagion Zaw is the fact that it's actually multiplicative with the direct hit of this arcane. Yes, the damage over time and the explosion effect don't actually benefit from Condition Overload, but if I just hit an enemy straight up with the actual projectile, we can get a multiplicative buff, which is quite nice. I also have the Blood Rush mod on this weapon. I don't really need it for a build like this, considering I'm going to be cooking with Volt and my other weapons regardless, but nonetheless, in case things get dicey, I can always build up the melee combo counter and then get tier 6 red crits with this weapon pretty easily. I'd also like to mention that I got the Zanurik Operator School that gives me extra energy. This school is absolutely fucking amazing, and thanks to the Wellspring ability and Hardened Wellspring ability, I'm going to be getting energy back at a pretty consistent rate. But not only because of the Operator School, also because I have the legend companion himself, Rufus. I always have Rufus with me no matter which mission I'm in. As you can see, he's a Sahasa Kubro, and what makes him so amazing is actually this mod right here. Thanks to the dig mod, Sahasa Kubros have a 270% success chance to dig you up an item, and with that 270% success chance, he'll be able to dig up 2 energy orbs minimum with a 70% chance to dig up a third one whenever I'm low on energy, so it's quite nice. And yeah guys, that's pretty much it as far as the setup goes. With all that being said, let's go ahead and start up a Steel Path bounty. That's not the bounty, that's the PC, okay. For the bounty today, I will be doing a Steel Path survival. As you can see right here, it's level 205 to 210, and at the end of the day, I gotta be quite careful and stay on top of my game because Vault is definitely not the tankiest Warframe at the end of the day. and considering that these enemies can apply a lot of status effects like slash, toxin, and viral, I want to be careful and make sure I'm saving rolling guard for those moments. Not only do I like to use this build when I'm farming normal missions, but it's also really good for farming steel path as well. And the name of the game is pretty simple, ladies and gentlemen. Use discharge so we can get our overshield, follow up with the electric shield ability, and then we can just cook the enemies no problem whenever they have a lot of armor. Get rid of that with Terrify, cook them real quick with our ZOUL or whichever weapon we want. Or I could literally use a combination of all my weapons to just get rid of an enemy. It's pretty nice. But at the end of the day, I do want to stay on top of my game. Like I said, it's really not hard to lose a lot of shield really fast at the end of the day, which is exactly why I gotta be careful. Arthur, what are you doing, big dog? Did anybody else see that? My man was just walking into the scrubber. And yeah, at the end of the day, I gotta deal with these scrubbers constantly, which can be annoying, but at the end of the day, as long as I have a decent enough amount of energy, that's really no problem. Because I could easily just keep rinse and repeating the same method of using discharge, using Terrify after that, and then using electric shield with my weapons to cook all the enemies. Now we get rid of this motherfucker right here. There we go. And now I just keep running around the map, collecting life support, and preventing these fucking scrubbers from becoming infested demons, while still making sure I have enough energy for myself at the end of the day. Whenever these enemies getting too close, Terrify, and then follow up with discharge, use the electric shield and the Kuvanukor to apply all these status effects, and whenever I want, I can throw out the ZOUL for some crazy damage. Not too crazy for a ZOUL build, but at the end of the day, it's good enough. You do gotta be careful while you're actually tending to these scrubbers, though. It's very easy to actually get caught lacking, but as long as you're on top of your game and paying attention to your surroundings, it's really not that bad. There we go. Activate this hell scrubber right here. Pull up on these enemies over here. Go ahead and freeze them a little bit. Use the nuke ore. There we go. We got an energy orb as well. Not bad. Any energy orbs we create are definitely just going to help us out in the long run. Follow up with the combo, as you can see right here, and yep, every one of these enemies is just getting absolutely destroyed. While that's happening and discharge is just going off, I'm gonna run around and collect some of these life support capsules. There we go. Discharge, Terrify combo. Yep. Keep it cooking. Follow up with the ZOUL for some extra damage. And now I need to get rid of this buildup on the actual scrubber so I can activate it. There we go. And yeah, like I said, it's definitely not the craziest Volt build at the end of the day. You do got to do a lot of work to make this actually work properly, and you do got to make sure you're staying alive as well on top of all that. But nonetheless, this build is really fun in my opinion, and it's actually really good for normal missions. It's good for Steel Path missions as well, but you can just absolutely fly through enemies on normal mode. Which is exactly why I said earlier I like using this build for farming. Having a build you can run through normal missions with easily is quite nice, and this is definitely the Volt build for me that lets me do that no problem. Get rid of that slash status effect. Activate discharge so we can get us some overshield, and yeah, there we go. The electric shield Kuvanukor combo is so fucking nice, man. And then whenever you follow that up with Terrify to remove the armor, and then discharge as well to get you some overshield as well as keep the enemies in place, you can just absolutely cook at the end of the day. It's quite fucking fun. And of course, thanks to the speed ability, whenever it's time to head to extraction or get out of dodge, you can do so very, very fucking easily. Because as you can see, I was just flying with Volt. Hey, 4200 endo? Not bad at all. And yeah, guys, that's pretty much going to be it for this video. Let me know what you guys think of my Amir Beckett Steel Path build down in the comments. Not only do I think the build's really amazing, but the Terrify helmet on Amir is just pretty hilarious in the first place. Man just gets pissed off, starts yelling, and all of a sudden all the enemies are terrified, their armor's gone, and you can just follow up with the rest of your abilities. I don't know, I really like it. We'll be making a build for each PROTOFRAME in the game. I already have one for Excalibur. If you're curious, you can check that out on the channel. Before this video ends, real quick, just wanted to say thank you guys so much for all the support on the channel. Seriously, guys, I really do appreciate all the positivity and all the support you guys leave on every video I make, so be tuned in for the videos I got in the future. That's gonna be it for me. Keep your head up, stay positive, and with that being said, thanks for watching.